That night, the house was quiet, but the silence wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of silence made of unanswered questions. A night where a family carried fear and hope at the same time. Little Leo was sitting on his bed, his feet too short to touch the floor. And at that age, they never really had. He was smaller than the other kids, thinner, and now he knew it wasn't just temporary. The doctors didn't soften it with kind sentences. They didn't explain it at length. They simply said, "He has a growth hormone deficiency." It wasn't just a diagnosis, it was a boundary. The treatment was expensive, the family couldn't afford it, and football clubs didn't want to take the risk. Leo didn't fully understand the words in that moment, but he understood the faces, and the message on those faces was simple. This child won't be enough. No one yelled at him on the pitch that day. No one scolded him. No one told him he was bad. There were only those who kept playing and a small child waiting on the sideline. For Messi, football wasn't entertainment. It was the only place he felt strong, the only space where his small body meant something. And now, even that was about to be taken from him. That night, his family spoke in whispers, money, impossibilities, uncertainty. And as Messi sat alone in his room, he thought, if my body fails me, then who am I? People have always described Messi as quiet, but that silence never came from shyness. It was an acceptance learned early, the understanding that some things are out of your control, but you can choose how you respond to them. The next day, he didn't wake up taller. He didn't feel stronger. Hope didn't suddenly flood in. He just went to the pitch, ran, touched the ball, fell, got back up, sometimes ran out of breath, sometimes his muscles burned. But he didn't quit, because quitting wouldn't have meant leaving football. It would have meant losing himself entirely. Clubs hesitated, executives debated, medical reports lay on the table, and most people thought the same thing. A child this small can't carry a dream this big. But Messi wasn't thinking about being the best in the world, winning trophies, or making history. He only wanted one thing: to keep playing. When Barcelona accepted him, it wasn't a miracle, it was a gamble. The club took on the treatment with no guarantees. Messi took injections every day, felt pain every day, fought his own body every day, and still went out onto the pitch. Over time, he grew taller, his muscles strengthened, but the real change happened somewhere else. He learned early that no one waits for you, no one stops for you, and if you want to stay in the game, you have to keep going. Years later, people talked about his talent, called it a gift he was born with. But no one talked about this. If he had quit that night, that talent would never have been seen. Messi's most important night wasn't a final or a trophy ceremony. It was in a small room, quiet and lonely. Success didn't arrive as an explosion for him. It came slowly, with doubt, with pain, and it began at the exact moment when no one believed, with the decision to continue. And after that decision, life didn't suddenly change. The world didn't look different the next morning. Problems weren't solved. His body didn't become strong overnight. Messi was still small, still fragile, still a risk in everyone's eyes. But there was now a silent truth inside him. Even if everything wasn't under his control, one thing still was: the right not to give up. No one granted him that right. He claimed it for himself. As the days passed, the weight of that decision grew heavier, because continuing wasn't romantic. It was exhausting, painful, and demanded patience. Every training session, his body said, "Stop," while his mind had to say, "A little more." Every failure brought old fears back. What if I'm really not enough? What if this effort is meaningless? What if I get eliminated anyway? But those questions no longer stopped him. They just walked beside him. Messi learned early that doubt never disappears. You just learn how to live with it. Over time, he got used to not being noticed on the pitch, to playing quieter, making fewer mistakes, observing more. And that invisibility didn't shrink him. It sharpened him. He learned to stay calm when others panicked, to wait for the right moment while others rushed. His small body stopped being a disadvantage and became an advantage, because no one expected big things from him. There were no expectations, no pressure. But inside that silence, something was slowly accumulating. Hours no one applauded, repetitions no one saw, small improvements no one cared about. From the outside, it looked ordinary, but from the inside, it was the same decision being reaffirmed every day. I'm not quitting today. I'm stepping onto the pitch today. I'm staying in the game today. This is where Messi's story truly took shape, not in big moments or big words, but inside these small, boring repetitions. Because some lives don't change with a single breaking point. They change by making the same decision over and over again. And each time that decision becomes a little harder, a little lonelier, yet quietly transforms you. And now stop and think. What makes Messi's story special isn't his first goal or his first Ballon d'Or. What's special is the moment no one watched. Because real life isn't won under the lights. Real life decides in moments without applause. That night, Messi had no guarantees. His body could have failed him. His future was uncertain, and quitting for the first time made sense. Most stories end right there, but sometimes success doesn't begin with belief. It begins with stubbornness. And maybe right now in your own life, there is a night no one sees. If there is, then this story is yours.